a wharf that has burned to the ground more times than anyone wants to count, and still stands. A road built through 12 hurricanes. A sky that goes dark for 2 months, then sets itself on fire in green. A ship buried in clay for 1,000 years. And a rock, shaped like a tongue, with no railing, 700 meters above a lake. 5 things, 5 stories. By the end of this video, you will see Norway differently. Great thing number 1, walk the wooden alleys of Bryggen. Bergen, 1070. King Olav Kyrre founds the city on the western fjords. By 1350, the German Hanseatic League opens a contour on the Bergen waterfront. Stockfish from the Lofoten Islands moves through these wooden warehouses to all of northern Europe. Then, in 1702, the Great Fire burns Bryggen to the ground. 80% of the wooden houses, gone in a single night. The merchants rebuild on the same medieval foundations, using the same techniques. That is why the gabled wooden facades look like they did in the 14th century. In 1979, Bryggen becomes Norway's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. 62 of the original buildings survive today. Here is what that means for you. Walk the narrow back alleys called Smau. Touch the timber. The boards behind your hand are older than the United States. Then visit Bryggen's museum, where the medieval foundations are still in the ground. You are standing on a port that has been here for almost 1,000 years. Great thing number 2, drive the Atlantic Ocean Road. August 1st, 1983, construction begins on a 5-mile stretch of County Road 64 between the island of Averøy and the mainland of Møre og Romsdal. 8 bridges, causeways across open ocean. The longest one, Storseisundet, curves so sharply it looks like a ramp launching into the sea. During the 6-year build, the site is hit by 12 hurricanes. The road opens on July 7th, 1989. In 2005, Norwegians vote it the construction of the century. In 2021, Daniel Craig drives an Aston Martin V8 Vantage across it in the final James Bond film, No Time to Die. Here's how to make the most of it. Rent a car in Kristiansund or Molde and drive the 8.3 kilometers slowly. Stop at Eltusøya, where a steel walking path hovers over the rocks. Stop at Askevågen for the platform out over the water. Time it for a storm, if you can handle it. The waves come over the road. Great thing number 3, hunt the northern lights in Tromsø. Tromsø sits more than 200 miles above the Arctic Circle, directly beneath what scientists call the auroral oval. That geographic accident makes it one of the most reliable places on Earth to see the aurora borealis. The viewing season runs from late August to early April. From mid-November to mid-January, the city enters polar night. The sun does not rise. That is when the aurora is strongest. Here's how to take advantage of this spectacle. Book 3 to 4 nights minimum. 1 clear night is never guaranteed, but 3 gives the weather time to cooperate. Ride the Fjellheisen cable car up Mount Storseisundet, 421 meters above the city, and watch the lights from the platform. Or drive out to a Sami camp, eat reindeer stew in a lavu tent, and watch the sky from a place with no streetlights at all. Great thing number 4, stand in front of a 1,200-year-old Viking ship, 1880. The Gokstad farm in Vestfold, southeast Norway. Archaeologist Nikolai Nikolaisen excavates a burial mound and finds a 23-meter Viking longship. 1904. A farmer named Oscar Ramm finds another mound on his land at the Oseberg farm near Tonsberg. Professor Gabriel Gustafsson leads the dig. They pull out a 21.5-meter ship built around the year 820, buried 14 years later as a tomb for 2 high-status women. The ship is roughly 90% original oak. The ships have been on display in Oslo since the 1920s. But here is the part most people do not know. On September 10th, 2025, the Oseberg made its first journey in 99 years. It moved 350 feet 10 inches per minute into the climate-controlled walls of a new building called the Museum of the Viking Age. The new museum is set to open in 2027 on the Big Doy Peninsula. Until then, visit the Historical Museum downtown, where Viking artifacts, including the iconic Gjermundbu helmet, are on full display. Plan your Norway trip around the 2027 opening if you can. These ships are to Northern Europe what King Tut is to Egypt. Great thing number 5. Hike to Trolltunga. The Troll's Tongue, a flat slab of rock that juts out of a mountainside in Hardanger, 700 meters above Lake Ringedalsvatnet. No railing, just rock and air. In 2010, fewer than 800 people made the hike each year. By 2016, the number was over 80,000. The reason was Instagram. A photo, a rock, and an obscure Norwegian trail became a global phenomenon. The trail itself is ancient. It is part of an old route across the Hardangervidda Plateau, used for centuries by farmers moving livestock between western and eastern Norway. The steepest sections were rebuilt by Nepalese Sherpas, the same crews who work the Himalayan trails. Before you go, know the hike is 27 kilometers round trip, 10 to 12 hours, 1,100 meters of elevation gain. Start before 10 a.m. in summer. Bring real boots and warm layers. Hiking season is mid-June to mid-September without a guide. Outside those months, go with a guided group only. The photo is worth it. Going home is also worth it. A medieval wharf that survived every fire history threw at it. A road the ocean tried to stop and could not. A sky that turns green in winter. A ship buried for 1,000 years, moved 10 inches a minute into its next century. And a piece of rock that the internet turned into a pilgrimage. 5 things. 5 reasons Norway is unlike anywhere else. Comment with which one you are doing first. The Bergen Wharf, the Atlantic Road, Tromsø, Oslo, or Trolltunga. And tell me one Norway story I missed.